We solve our most complex problems with brute force. In artificial intelligence, this looks like feeding massive amounts of compute into large language models. We get speed and confidence, but we also get hallucinations, because there is no internal architecture to check the output against reality. We see the same pattern in global economics. When an institution begins to fail, we often inject trillions of dollars to maintain its speed, without addressing the structural decay that caused the crisis in the first place. Systems built entirely on action, on energy, execution, and throughput eventually hit a limit. Without a balanced structure to support that energy, they become brittle, regardless of their size. Some researchers are starting to suspect that reality has a universal compiler, a base-level rule set that checks the integrity of a system before it is allowed to function. We are seeing this convergence in projects like Open Mythos. This independent AI team recently moved away from a single monolithic design, shifting instead to a three-part recurrent architecture to stabilize their system's behavior. They didn't arrive at this three-part design to follow a specific theory. They did it because their math showed it was the minimal set of components required to keep the system from breaking. It appears that developers searching for stability are reaching the same mathematical conclusions that U-theory formally mapped out years ago. U-theory starts with a physical premise. To exist, every system must pay three specific prices: time, space, and energy. Time is expressed as form. This is the system's identity, its internal rules, and its structural durability. Space is expressed as position. This is the system's context, how it fits into its environment and aligns with its resources. Energy is expressed as action. This is the system's output, its behavior, its dynamics, and its energy expenditure. A system remains stable as long as it can pay these three prices simultaneously. If it defaults on any one, the structure collapses. To measure this, U-theory uses the System Stability Score, which calculates the geometric mean of those three pillars. This math creates a law of non-compensation. Because the pillars are multiplied, a 0 in one category results in a total score of 0. A massive action value cannot save a system if its structural form is missing. This explains the instability in current AI models. They possess immense compute power, action, but they often score near 0 in context and truth, which represent position and form. The proposed solution is recursive triadic decomposition. This involves deploying specialized AI agents to manage form and position, acting as a structural tether for the primary action agent. This suggests that the path to general superintelligence may not be found through scaling raw power alone, but through balancing these specialized functions in a coordinated orchestration. Because this math is derived from physical constraints, it applies to macroscopic systems just as effectively as it does to digital ones. The System Stability Score provides a uniform metric to evaluate any system, allowing us to compare the health of wildly different domains using the same coordinates. Using this triadic formula, we can score the stability of a nation-state like Germany, analyzing its constitution, territory, and democratic processes as a single stability index. We can apply the same logic to a sports franchise, measuring how its strategy and resource alignment translate into operational stability. The formula even scales down to biology, where it has been used to assess the functional stability of a human heart. In every test case, from cardiology to governance, the mathematical threshold for stability remains consistent. Measuring systems this way allows us to pinpoint a specific weakest pillar long before it leads to a catastrophic failure. If used as an early warning tool, this framework could allow governments to identify imbalanced systems. This has the potential to mitigate systemic risks that, in contexts like the European economy, are measured in trillions of euros. Whether we are building a superintelligence or managing a nation, understanding the math of the universal compiler is a prerequisite for building systems that last.